N.O.R.I, are you ready?
Initiating cameras. Checking audio. All systems operational. I'm ready.
Good, cause today we're going to be deep diving into the heart and soul of America and taking a closer look at the history of the traditional Thanksgiving dinner.
Uploading data. Upload complete. Specifications ready.
G'day Gastromites and welcome to History of a Dish, a place where we go searching high and low for the origin stories behind some of the most popular dishes we enjoy today. This week we're going to be taking a closer look at an American tradition that is almost 400 years old now and is one of the biggest holidays of the year. More precisely, we're going to be concentrating on what that first Thanksgiving meal may have looked like and comparing it to the lavish feast that is prepared today. So while I get my notes ready, I'll let N.O.R.I give you the lowdown on some of the facts surrounding Thanksgiving Day.
Thanksgiving is a national holiday in the United States, celebrated on the fourth Thursday of November every year. Traditionally, it was a day to celebrate the harvest, but nowadays it is more about being reflective and thankful for what you have. The holiday has become the busiest traveling period of the year as families and friends get together for a meal, which traditionally includes a roast turkey, stuffing, potatoes, vegetables, cranberry sauce, gravy, and pumpkin pie. In most cities and towns, there are parades during the weekend, and these festivities also mark the opening of the Christmas shopping season. The day after Thanksgiving is known as Black Friday, but that's a tale for another day.
Alright, let's get into the meat and gravy of this story. We can start off by saying this holiday feast dates all the way back to November 1621, a year after the Mayflower arrived to the New World. This was the time when the newly arrived pilgrims from England and the Wampanoag Indians gathered at Plymouth, Massachusetts, for an autumn harvest celebration. And this celebration is actually the event that is regarded as America's first Thanksgiving.
Correction, Torbs. Some historians believe that Florida, not Massachusetts, may have been the true site of the first Thanksgiving in North America, nearly 60 years before Plymouth.
Alright, didn't know that. The good old world of food history, always a dispute in there some way. But for the sake of argument, let's concentrate on the popular belief that Plymouth was the place of the first Thanksgiving meal. Agreed?
Agreed.
So, what was really on the menu at that famous banquet, and which, if any of today's time-honoured favourites weren't included until much later in this 400-year-old historical timeline? Let's find out by starting with the turkey. N.O.R.I?
While no records exist of the exact bill of fare, the Pilgrim writer Edward Winslow noted in his journal that the colony's governor, William Bradford, sent 4 men on a fowling mission in preparation for the 3-day event. And in On Plymouth Planation, Bradford's famous account of the founding of the Plymouth colony, he wrote about the fall harvest that year.
Alright, so there may or may not have been turkey present at the first ever Thanksgiving feast. With the mention of fowl, it could quite easily have been ducks or geese too. But why is it then that turkey has become the staple piece that people chow down today then?
Maybe it's because of Alexander Hamilton, one of the founding fathers of the United States, who said no citizen of the US shall refrain from turkey on Thanksgiving Day. Or maybe it's when Bradford's journals were reprinted in 1856 after being lost for a whole century. In it, he writes about how the colonists hunted wild turkeys during the autumn of 1621. And because turkey is a uniquely delicious American bird, it gained traction as the meal of choice after President Lincoln declared Thanksgiving a national holiday in 1863. Or perhaps it's because there were more practical reasons for eating turkey instead of, say, chicken at a feast like Thanksgiving. The birds are bigger and can feed a whole table full of hungry family members, and unlike chickens or cows, they didn't serve much purpose like laying eggs or making milk. And with pork being so common, a turkey seemed like a more suitable choice for a special occasion. Or possibly it's because the publication of A Christmas Carol in 1843. In it, Scrooge may have helped the turkey's cause as a holiday delicacy when he charitably sends the Cratchit family a Christmas turkey.
But in all honesty, it's probably a mishmash of all these things historically intertwined with each other to make it what it is today. Turkey or no turkey, the first Thanksgiving attendees almost certainly got their fill of meat. Winslow wrote that the Wampanoag guests arrived with an offering of 5 deer. So there you go. N.O.R.I, got any info on the fruit and veggies?
The 1621 Thanksgiving celebration marked the Pilgrims' first autumn harvest, so it is likely that the colonists feasted on the bounty they had reaped that year. Local vegetables that likely appeared on the table include onions, beans, lettuce, spinach, cabbage, carrots and perhaps peas. Corn, which records show was plentiful at the first harvest, might also have been served.
Yeah, and fruits indigenous to the region would have included blueberries, plums, grapes, gooseberries, raspberries, and of course, cranberries. Here's one that may actually surprise a few people. Culinary historians believe that much of the Thanksgiving meal consisted of seafood, something that is often absent from today's Thanksgiving menus. N.O.R.I?
Lobster, clams and oysters might have been part of the feast. Edward Winslow has described the bounty of seafood near Plymouth in his journals. Mussels in particular were abundant in New England and could be easily harvested because they clung to rocks along the shoreline. The colonists occasionally served mussels with curds, a dairy product with a similar consistency to cottage cheese.
Sounds mouth-wateringly delectable. What's next?
Potatoes.
Ah, the good old spud. Whether mashed or roasted, white or sweet, potatoes had absolutely no place at the very first Thanksgiving. What?
After encountering it in its native South America, the Spanish began introducing the potato to Europeans around 1570. But by the time the Pilgrims boarded the Mayflower, the potato had neither doubled back to North America nor become popular enough with the English to hitch a ride.
Okay, well that leaves us with a good old pumpkin pie. Now both the Pilgrims and the members of the Wampanoag tribe ate pumpkins and other squashes indigenous to New England, possibly even during the harvest festival, but the colony lacked the butter and wheat flour necessary for making pie crust. Also, the settlers hadn't yet constructed an oven for baking. According to some accounts, early English settlers in North America improvised by hollowing out pumpkins, filling the shells with milk, honey and spices to make a custard, then roasting them whole in hot ashes. So no pumpkin pie either, just a pumpkin flavoured mush. All the same, sounds pretty A-OK to me. So the first Thanksgiving meal in Plymouth probably had very little in common with today's traditional holiday spread. Although turkeys were indigenous, there's absolutely no record of a big juicy roasted bird at the feast. The natives brought deer and there would have been a lot of local seafood, plus the fruits of the first pilgrim harvest, including pumpkin. No mashed potatoes though, which is a bit of a shame, according to me. Anyway, that'll do for us today. Be safe and take care, and N.O.R.I, take us out.
Preparing for system shutdown.
Whoa, wait, what are you doing? Aren't you going to thank the people for watching and ask them to pound that subscription button and give them an option to, watch something else?
Is that really necessary?
I don't know, it's just that everyone does that here on YouTube. Best practices and all of that jazz. You know what the YouTube gods are like.
No, I don't.
Alright, so you're just going to shut it down, just switch it off, just like that?
Yes.
Okay.